Project rejected. No investment. Next. Scarlett Mason says it without raising her voice. The words cut through the packed auditorium like a switchblade, clean and final. On stage, Ethan Thorne freezes with the clicker in his hand. The last slide behind him still glows with charts, promises, and a photo of him smiling beside a sleek product mock-up. For half an hour he has performed like his life depends on it, because it does. He has begged for credibility with every sentence, stitched his story into a pitch that is supposed to change his fate. He has done the math, memorized the numbers, rehearsed the pauses. Then the woman at the center of the judging table ends it in 8 words. The room goes silent. Even the cameras seem to hesitate. Ethan stares down at the panel. At the nameplate that says Scarlett Mason, Chief Investment Officer, Mason Ridge Capital. At the calm hands folded near a legal pad. At the face he knows too well, except sharpened by 5 years of power. His throat tightens. Scarlett? A ripple runs through the crowd. People glance at each other, confused by the way his voice cracks. A founder is not supposed to sound like a man seeing a ghost. But Ethan does. His eyes flicker between the woman and the exit as if the building itself has turned against him. Scarlett lifts her gaze and her eyes are flat, almost bored. Like she is watching a stranger miss a step on a staircase. "Mr. Thorne," says the moderator beside her, trying to recover. "Do you have a question for the panel?" Scarlett does not correct the title. She does not correct anything. She taps the pen once, slow. Ethan swallows. "I do. I need to understand why. We hit every metric you requested. Our traction is real. Our pipeline is signed. We can scale in 6 months." Scarlett leans back. "You can scale your ego faster than your revenue." A few people cough. Someone laughs, then stops. Ethan flushes as if slapped. "No," he says. "This is personal. It has to be." Scarlett tilts her head. "Personal is for people who still share a past. I do not." Ethan grips the clicker until his knuckles turn white. He looks down at his shoes, then up again, desperate. He sees Chloe Hart in the second row, her perfect hair and designer bag screaming confidence. She gives him a tight smile that says keep going, do not embarrass us. Ethan turns back. "Scarlett, please. We can talk after. Just reconsider. One meeting. One chance." Scarlett looks at him, and for the first time her expression changes. Not to anger. Not to pity. To something colder, recognition of the pattern. "You used to ask me for one more chance," she says. "You asked until I had nothing left. Then you walked away." The room holds its breath. The moderator shifts uncomfortably. A camera operator leans forward. Ethan shakes his head, panicking. "I do not know what you think happened, but that is not fair." Scarlett does not blink. "Fair is not the goal today. The goal is to decide where our money goes. It is not going to you." Ethan feels the ground slip. He steps toward the edge of the stage as if he can cross the distance by force. "At least tell me the reason," he says. "Give me something, a number, a weakness, anything." Scarlett picks up a small orange bottle from her bag and sets it on the table. The label is plain. Prescription. Her fingers rest on it with casual familiarity. "You want a reason?" she asks. Ethan sees the bottle and does not understand. The crowd does not understand. But something in his stomach twists. Scarlett slides the bottle an inch toward the microphone. "I was in the emergency room twice that winter," she says. "I worked mornings, nights, and weekends. I ate noodles so you could buy textbooks. I told myself it was love. I told myself you were worth it." Ethan opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Scarlett continues, voice even. "When I collapsed on the floor of our kitchen, shaking and vomiting, you stepped over me to take a call. You said you could not miss it. You said your future mattered." A murmur spreads through the audience like a wave. Ethan looks down at his hands, as if he can scrub the memory off his skin. Chloe sits straighter, her smile fading into alarm. Scarlett rests her palm flat on the table. "So here is your reason. I learned what you are. And I am not investing in that." Ethan hears himself whisper, too quiet for the room. "I was stressed. I was trying. I did not mean." Scarlett cuts him off. "Next," she says. The moderator clears his throat. "Thank you, Mr. Thorne. We will move on." Ethan does not move. His vision narrows. His pitch deck behind him feels like a joke. He sees his own face smiling on the slide, bright and eager, and it makes him nauseous. He forces himself to speak, louder now, a last grasp at control. "You cannot do this," he says. "You cannot destroy my company because you are still angry." Scarlett finally smiles, a small curve with no warmth. "I am not angry," she says. "I am efficient." Security staff at the side of the stage begin to shift. Ethan realizes they are ready to escort him. The humiliation burns. He turns toward the audience, toward the investors, toward the world that is supposed to applaud. Instead he sees phones lifted, eyes wide, curiosity sharpening into appetite. In the second row Chloe leans in and hisses under her breath. Get off the stage, now. Ethan stares at Scarlett one last time. He expects triumph in her face. He expects revenge. He sees none. He sees a woman who has already moved on to the next decision, the next life, as if he is not even a footnote. And that is what breaks him. He steps back, shoulders rigid, then walks off stage with the clicker still in his hand. The moderator calls the next founder, but nobody listens. People whisper, eager to piece together the story. Ethan reaches the hallway outside the auditorium and slams his palm against the wall. Chloe catches up, heels sharp on the marble. What was that? She demands. Who is she to you? Ethan turns, eyes wild. She is nobody. Chloe laughs, harsh. Nobody does not look at you like that. Nobody does not end you in front of everyone. Ethan breathes in and the air tastes like dust and failure. She used to be my girlfriend. He admits. Chloe blinks. Then her mouth twists. Her, that broke waitress you made me meet once? The one you said was temporary? Ethan does not answer. He cannot, because the truth is worse. Scarlett was never temporary. She was his ladder. He kicked it away once he climbed high enough. And now the ladder is standing above him, holding a judge's gavel. Chloe grabs his arm. Fix it. Ethan looks back through the glass doors at the auditorium. He can still see Scarlett at the center seat, already leaning toward another pitch. Calm. Untouchable. He whispers more to himself than to Chloe. I do not know how. 5 years earlier, Scarlett lives on the edge of exhaustion, and she thinks it is love. Her alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. She slides out of bed quietly so she does not wake Ethan. The apartment is small and cold, the kind of place where the heater rattles like a warning and the window frames leak winter air. She pulls on black pants and a white shirt for the diner job, ties her hair back, and checks the envelope under the sink. Rent. Utilities. A stack of receipts. A notebook filled with numbers. Ethan is asleep on the couch, his laptop open on his chest, textbooks scattered like a battlefield. He looks devoted. He looks like a man fighting for a future. Scarlett looks at him and feels proud. She kisses his forehead. Sleep, Ethan. She whispers. I will handle today. At the diner, she smiles until her cheeks ache. She refills coffee. She carries trays. She apologizes when a customer snaps at her for a cold fry. She counts tips with shaking fingers and tells herself each dollar is a brick in their shared life. By noon she is running to the call center, a building that smells like stale air and cheap perfume. She puts on a headset and reads scripts to strangers who yell at her for problems she cannot fix. I understand your frustration. She says again and again. Let me help you. Her stomach burns with a familiar pain. She ignores it. She has a shift tonight as well, and tomorrow she cleans offices. There is no room for pain. At night she comes home with a bag of discounted groceries. She finds Ethan in the kitchen, typing, focused. Her heart lifts. I got your favorite cereal. She says. Ethan glances up. Did you pay the phone bill? Yes. And the electricity. We are good. He nods, already back to his screen. I cannot talk long. My advisor wants a draft by midnight. Scarlett sets the groceries down and rubs her stomach. I am going to make soup. Ethan sighs, irritated. Can you keep it quiet? I am trying to concentrate. She bites back the sting. Of course. She cooks softly. She eats standing up. She washes dishes and feels the world tilt. She grips the counter until it steadies. Ethan does not notice. Weeks pass like that. Then months. Scarlett loses weight. Her skin goes pale. She wakes with acid in her throat and heat behind her eyes. One night she doubles over in the bathroom, sweating, pain twisting her stomach into a knot. She reaches for Ethan, voice thin. Ethan, I need help. He appears in the doorway, frowning as if she has interrupted something important. What now? He asks. I think something is wrong. It hurts. I cannot stand. Ethan glances at his watch. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. It is remote, but still. Can you wait? Scarlett stares at him, blinking through tears. I cannot. Ethan rubs his face. You are always tired. You are always sick. Do not do this tonight. Scarlett laughs once, broken. Do what? Ask you to care? Ethan looks away. I will call you an Uber if you really need it. She crawls to the sink, vomiting. When she looks up, he is already walking back to the living room. Her phone buzzes on the floor. A message from Ethan, not even spoken aloud. I cannot miss this. You know why. Please handle it. She does handle it. She drags herself to the clinic the next day and sits under fluorescent lights for hours. The doctor says chronic ulcer. Stress. Overwork. She needs rest and medication. Rest is a joke. Medication costs money. She buys half the prescription and tells herself she will buy the rest later. 2 months later, Ethan defends his dissertation proposal. Scarlett stands in the back of the room in a cheap dress she has worn twice before. She claps until her palms sting. She watches professors praise his brilliance. She watches him glow. After the applause, he comes to her. He accepts her hug, stiff. Did you see? He asks. They loved it. I saw. Scarlett says, smiling. I am so proud of you. Ethan's eyes flick over her dress, her worn shoes, the way she holds herself. Something tightens in his face. We need to talk. He says. Scarlett's smile falters. About what? Ethan takes her aside, away from the crowd, as if she is embarrassing him by standing too close. You cannot keep showing up like this. He says, low. Scarlett blinks. Like what? Like you do not belong here. This is my world now. These people matter. They will be my network. They will open doors. Scarlett's throat dries. I am here to support you. Ethan exhales as if she is slow. Support does not mean dragging me down. You do not have the education. You do not know how to talk to them. You look cheap. Scarlett stares, stunned. I worked for you. She says. So you could be here. Ethan's eyes flicker with annoyance and shame. He covers it with cruelty. You are not my wife. He says. You are not even my equal. You are a phase I outgrew. Scarlett feels her stomach cramp, sharp. Are you breaking up with me? She whispers. Ethan nods, relieved to say it. Yes. He says. We are not the same. You are not someone I can bring into my future. Behind him, Chloe Hart appears, a bright smile on her lips, expensive perfume trailing after her. She is younger, polished, confident. She looks like the kind of woman professors invite to dinners. Chloe links her arm through Ethan's like it is natural. Ethan. She says sweetly. They are taking pictures. Come on. Scarlett looks at the two of them and feels the room tilt again. She presses a hand to her stomach, but the pain is not just physical now. It is something deeper, something tearing. Ethan does not look back as he walks away. Scarlett stands alone near the hallway, hearing laughter, hearing cameras, hearing the sound of her own life being erased. Outside, the wind cuts through her thin coat. She walks 2 blocks before she realizes she is crying. She leans against a bus stop sign and folds in half, breath ragged. Her phone buzzes. A text from Ethan, neat and final. Do not contact me. I need to move forward. Scarlett wipes her face with the back of her hand. She looks at the streetlights, the passing cars, the city that does not care. Something hard forms in her chest. Fine. She whispers to the cold night. I will move forward. Scarlett moves into a studio apartment with a mattress on the floor and a second-hand desk. She sells what little she owns. She cuts her meals in half. She pays for the rest of her medication. She learns how to live with the ache in her stomach and the ache in her pride. For a week she lets herself grieve. She cries into her pillow until the fabric is damp. She replays Ethan's words until they become dull from repetition. Then she stops crying. She makes a list on a yellow notepad. Money. Skills. Network. Power. She circles the last word twice. During the day, she works as an assistant at a logistics company, the kind of job that pays just enough to keep the lights on. At night, she takes online classes in finance and coding. She reads books borrowed from the library, pages filled with terms she does not understand at first. She watches lectures while eating crackers. She writes notes until her fingers cramp. She practices spreadsheets until her eyes blur. When she feels weak, she thinks of Ethan's face when he said she was not someone he could bring into his future. She says his words out loud like a challenge. Not my equal. She repeats. Phase. It fuels her better than coffee. A year passes. Then another. Scarlett's stomach heals slowly, not because she rests, but because she becomes strategic. She learns to eat on a schedule. She learns which foods trigger pain. She learns to treat her body like a machine that needs maintenance to keep running. At Mason Ridge, Scarlett works like a storm. She arrives early. She leaves late. She does not gossip. She does not flirt. She learns every sector, every pitch pattern, every trick founders use to hide weakness. She also learns how to say no. I found her bags, charm dripping. Just one more call. He says. Scarlett answers flat. No. Next. The first time she says it, she feels a tremor in her chest. It is the first time she realizes she can stop someone else from taking from her. Her performance climbs. Promotions follow. She becomes the person who finds hidden risk, who spots fraud in a footnote, who asks the one question nobody wants to answer. Noah watches her with interest. One night, after a board meeting, he stops by her desk. You do not celebrate. He says. You closed a major deal today. Scarlett does not look up from her screen. Celebration is a distraction. Noah leans against the desk. You are angry, I can see it. You are using it, that is fine, but anger burns fuel fast. Scarlett finally looks at him. Then I will refuel. Noah laughs once. You are relentless. Scarlett returns to her work. Relentless is what survival looks like. Noah's expression shifts, softer for a moment. You know. He says. People will call you cold. They will say you do not have a heart. Scarlett's fingers pause over the keyboard. I have a heart. She says. I just do not hand it out for free anymore. Noah nods, understanding. Good. By the 5th year, Scarlett is no longer the exhausted girl at the bus stop. She lives in a glass high-rise apartment with a view of the city. She wears tailored suits that fit like armor. She walks into rooms and people stand without realizing why. She is 27. She is the youngest chief investment officer in the firm's history. The board wants a photo. The press wants a quote. The industry wants to label her prodigy, ice queen, miracle. Scarlett does not care about labels. She cares about leverage. At night, when she is alone, she opens a file on her laptop. It is a list of names. Old memories. Debts. Ethan Thorne is on the list. She has not searched for him in years. She has not needed to. But as her influence grows, information comes like rain. She learns he has struggled. Degrees do not guarantee doors. He has failed startups. Burned bridges. Pretended confidence. He is still chasing the world that told him he is special. Scarlett stares at his name and feels nothing. No ache. No longing. No rage. Just clarity. Noah. She says one day, stepping into his office. He looks up from a report. What is it? Scarlett slides a file across his desk. Our demo day roster. One founder stands out. Noah scans the page. Ethan Thorne, venture applicant, interesting background, strong story on paper. Scarlett watches his face. We will not fund him. Noah raises an eyebrow. Because of the numbers? Scarlett answers with calm precision. Because of the pattern. Noah studies her, then sets the file down. You want to handle it personally. He says. Scarlett nods. Noah leans back. He hurt you. Scarlett does not deny it. He used me. She says. Now he wants to use this firm. He will not. Noah taps the desk once. Do you want revenge? Scarlett thinks of the clinic chairs, the empty bank account, the winter air. Then she thinks of her current life, built brick by brick. I want closure. She says. Noah's eyes sharpen. Closure is expensive. You sure you want to pay that price? Scarlett smiles slightly. I already did. When his turn comes, he walks onto the stage and faces the audience. Lights blind him. The room feels like a single mouth waiting to chew him up. He begins. Good morning. I am Ethan Thorne, founder of Thorne Systems. Today I am here to show you a product that will change how small businesses survive. He speaks smoothly. He hits his marks. He tells the comeback story. He gestures to the chart. He makes them laugh once. He sees heads nodding. He thinks he is winning. Then he reaches the final slide and feels hope rise in his chest, dangerous and sweet. He looks down at the judge's table, ready for applause. And he sees her. Scarlett Mason sits at the center seat. Her hair is sleek. Her suit is charcoal and sharp. Her face is calm, familiar in a way that makes his stomach drop. For a second he thinks it is impossible. He blinks hard, like he can erase her. She looks up at him as if he is late to a meeting. Ethan's voice stumbles. He catches it. The room does not notice, but Chloe does. She leans forward, alarmed. Ethan forces himself to finish. And with your investment, we can scale nationally within 6 months. Thank you. He waits for questions. His heart pounds. Scarlett does not ask a question. She rejects him. After the verdict, after the humiliation, Ethan tries to call a friend. The call goes to voicemail. He tries another. No answer. He checks his email. An automated message from Mason Ridge appears, cold and polite, stating that no further discussions will occur. Ethan grips the phone, shaking. Chloe stalks beside him in the hallway, furious. "You promised me," she says. "You promised me this would work." Ethan snaps, raw. "I promised? You think I control that woman?" Chloe stops. "You know her." Ethan hesitates. The hallway is too bright. The air feels thin. Chloe's eyes narrow. "Say it." Ethan exhales. "She's my ex." Chloe's mouth opens, shocked. Then she laughs, disbelieving. "Your ex is the chief investment officer," she says. "Your broke girlfriend." Ethan flinches. "She was broke." Chloe steps closer, voice sharp. "So you left her and now she is sitting on a pile of money deciding your fate. That is insane." Ethan stares at the floor. "I did not know." Chloe's anger shifts into fear. Fear of losing status. Fear of falling. "Fix it," she repeats, but her voice is smaller now. Ethan looks toward the doors. He can still see the edge of the auditorium through the glass. "I will talk to her," he says, though he has no plan. "She has to listen. We had something." Chloe scoffs. "You had her working 3 jobs. That is what you had." Ethan's face burns. He grabs Chloe's wrist. "Do not," he hisses. "Do not talk about things you do not understand." Chloe yanks her hand away. "I understand enough. You used her, now she is using you." Karma, Ethan. The word makes him flinch. He hates it. He hates anything that suggests the universe has rules he cannot manipulate. He storms toward the elevators. Chloe follows, heels clacking, but her confidence is cracking. As the elevator doors close, Ethan sees his reflection in the mirrored wall. A man in a borrowed suit. A man whose smile is slipping. He whispers to himself. This cannot be how it ends. Scarlett leaves the auditorium after demo day and walks into her private office. The glass walls show the city below, endless and indifferent. Noah Carter is waiting by the window with 2 coffees. He holds one out. "Long day," he says. Scarlett takes it. It is part of the job. Noah watches her face. "How do you feel?" Scarlett sits at her desk and opens a folder. She speaks without looking up. "Nothing," she says. Noah hums, skeptical. "That is a feeling." Scarlett sets the coffee down. "I did not reject him because I am hurt. I rejected him because the company is bad." Noah raises an eyebrow. "Is it?" Scarlett slides the folder across the desk. Inside are reports, emails, contracts, patterns. "He inflated traction," she says. "He claims signed clients, but the letters are non-binding. He had churn by renaming accounts. He says his tech is proprietary, but he scraped it from open source code and did not comply with licensing." Noah flips through, impressed. "You did your homework." Scarlett's mouth tightens. "I always do." Noah leans back. "So you could reject him on merit alone, clean?" Scarlett nods. "Yes." Noah's eyes sharpen. "But you did not stop there." Scarlett pauses, then taps the folder with her finger. "He is going to shop the pitch around. If we say no, he will try another firm. Someone will be tempted. I will not let him take money from people who do not see his flaws." Noah watches her, understanding the hidden layer. "You want to stop him everywhere," he says. Scarlett meets his gaze. "I want accountability." Noah does not argue. He picks up his phone and sends a message to the compliance team. Within days, the reports circulate quietly through the investor network. Not gossip. Documentation. Facts. The kind of facts that end careers. Ethan feels the consequences immediately. Meetings get cancelled. Replies stop coming. A firm he was courting sends a single sentence. "We will not proceed." Ethan calls his contact at the accelerator. The man sounds tense. "Ethan, what did you do?" he asks. "I did nothing," Ethan says, voice cracking. "They are freezing me out, all of them." The contact exhales. "Someone flagged your deck. Someone sent evidence. You are being watched now." Ethan's stomach drops. "Who?" The contact hesitates. "I cannot say names, but it came from a serious source, the kind you cannot fight." Ethan hangs up and throws his phone onto the couch. Chloe is in the kitchen, scrolling, face pale. "They are talking about you online," she says. "Founders are sharing a thread. They say you used your girlfriend for years and dumped her the second you got attention." Ethan snaps. "That is not true." Chloe looks up, eyes cold. "Is it?" Ethan cannot answer fast enough. Chloe's expression shifts, disgust mixing with fear. She cares less about morality than optics, and the optics are poison. "Ethan," she says slowly, This is going to ruin us. There is no us. Ethan says, then regrets it. Chloe laughs, brittle. You think you can talk to me like that while the world calls you a parasite? You are dead weight. She grabs her purse. Ethan steps toward her. Chloe, wait, you cannot leave now. Chloe stops at the door and looks him up and down, calculating. You told me you were a rising star. She says. You told me you were unstoppable, but you are just a man who needed a woman to pay his bills. Ethan's face contorts. Scarlett is doing this. Chloe shrugs. Then maybe you deserve it. She leaves. Ethan stands alone in the apartment that suddenly feels cheap and temporary. He stares at the walls, at the empty space where Chloe's shoes used to sit. His chest tightens. He feels the old panic, the one he used to push onto Scarlett when bills were due. Now there is nobody to push it onto. He drives to Mason Ridge the next morning, uninvited. He waits in the lobby, refusing to move. The receptionist calls security. Security tells him to leave. Ethan raises his voice. I need to see Scarlett Mason. Tell her it is about Ethan. The receptionist's eyes flicker with pity. She is busy. Ethan slams his hand on the desk. Tell her, now. Two guards step closer. Ethan's breath comes fast. No. He says. I will not go until she listens. A voice behind him answers, calm and sharp. Then you will be waiting a long time. Ethan turns. Scarlett stands near the elevator, coat on, phone in hand. She looks like she just walked out of a magazine, effortless and untouchable. Ethan takes a step toward her. Scarlett. He says. His voice is softer now, almost pleading. Please, just talk to me. Scarlett stops a few feet away. The guards stay still, watching. Ethan swallows. I did not know it was you on the panel, I swear. If I had known, I would have. What? Scarlett asks. What would you have done, Ethan? Apologized in advance? Pretended you cared? Ethan shakes his head. I was young. I was stupid. I made mistakes. Scarlett's eyes narrow. You were 23, not a child. Ethan reaches into his pocket and pulls out a crumpled photo. It is old, faded. A picture of the two of them at a cheap beach, Scarlett laughing, Ethan with his arm around her. I kept this. He says. I never forgot you. Scarlett looks at the photo as if it is a receipt from a store she does not remember visiting. You kept a photo, she says. I kept scars. Ethan's voice rises, desperate. I loved you. Scarlett's face stays calm. Love does not step over someone on the floor. Ethan flinches. Scarlett continues, tone like a verdict. You came here to beg for money. You did not come here to face what you did. You want me to rescue you again. Ethan opens his mouth. The truth catches in his throat. Scarlett steps closer, not to comfort him, but to make sure he hears every word. I am not your ladder anymore. She says. And I am not your safety net. Ethan's eyes shine. He looks around the lobby, aware of the stairs. Scarlett. He whispers. I am sorry. Scarlett nods once, as if acknowledging a sound. Good. She says. Now leave. Ethan's shoulders sag. He looks like a man collapsing without falling. The guards guide him toward the door. He does not fight. Outside, the city air is cold, familiar in the worst way. He stands on the sidewalk with his hands empty. For the first time in his life, he realizes he cannot talk his way out of this. Months pass. Scarlett keeps working. Deals close. Markets shift. Founders rise and fall like waves. Her name appears in articles, in panels, in lists of influential women in finance. She reads none of it. On a quiet evening, she sits in her office alone, lights low, city glowing beyond the glass. Noah Carter enters without knocking, as he always does. You look tired. He says. Scarlett gives him a small smile. Tired is normal. Noah sets a folder on her desk. A report from legal. Ethan Thorne filed a complaint. He claims defamation. Scarlett does not react. Does he have grounds? Noah shakes his head. No, everything is documented. He is just thrashing. Scarlett nods. Then let him thrash. Noah studies her. Do you feel satisfied? Scarlett thinks. She expects to feel victory, the kind that tastes sweet in revenge stories. Instead she feels something quieter. I feel clean. She says. Noah laughs softly. Clean is rare in this industry. Scarlett leans back in her chair. She remembers the girl she used to be, counting coins under the sink. She remembers the ulcer pain, the cold bus stop, the text telling her not to contact him. She remembers the moment she stopped begging. It was never about destroying him. She says. Noah raises an eyebrow. It was not. Scarlett shakes her head. It was about refusing to be destroyed again. Noah nods slowly. That is different. Scarlett's phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number appears. It is Ethan. Please, one last meeting. I will do anything. Scarlett stares at the screen. Her thumb hovers over the reply field. She does not type. She blocks the number. Noah watches her do it. That is your closure, he says. Scarlett exhales. Yes. The next morning, she stands at the window of her apartment, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise over the river. The city looks soft for a moment, washed in light. Her stomach does not hurt anymore. Not because life is easy, but because she stopped living in a constant state of fear. She thinks of Chloe Hart, of the way Chloe laughed at her cheap dress. She thinks of Ethan, of his borrowed suit and shaking hands. She does not wish them harm. She does not wish them happiness. She simply does not wish them anything. Her life is no longer tied to their approval. At the office, a junior analyst knocks on her door. Scarlett, we have a founder waiting for you. The analyst says. He is nervous. It is his first time pitching. Scarlett nods. Send him in. A young man enters, clutching a laptop, eyes wide. He looks like someone who has never had power and is terrified of being judged. Scarlett gestures to the chair. Sit, she says. The man sits, hands trembling. Thank you for seeing me. I know I am not from the right school, and I do not have connections, but I worked really hard and. Scarlett holds up a hand, stopping him gently. Do not apologize for where you started, she says. Show me where you are going. The man swallows, then begins. His pitch is imperfect, but the hunger is real. The numbers are messy, but the honesty is clear. Scarlett listens. She asks questions. She pushes back. She looks for truth. When the meeting ends, the young man stands, unsure. So? He asks. Scarlett considers for a moment, then speaks. We will do a second meeting, she says. Bring your data, bring your plan, and bring your backbone. The man blinks, stunned. Then he grins, relief flooding his face. Thank you, he says. I will not waste it. Scarlett nods. Good. After he leaves, Noah steps into the doorway, amused. You are soft today, he says. Scarlett smiles, small and real. No, she says. I am just not bitter. Noah crosses his arms. What do you call it then? Scarlett looks out at the city again, at the endless movement, the endless chance. I call it winning, she says. She turns back to her desk, to her work, to the life she built. The past is behind her, not as a scar she picks at, but as a lesson sealed and stored. And when she thinks of Ethan, she thinks only one thing. He did not lose because she rejected him. He lost because he never learned that character is the only currency that does not crash.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.